Man, take action. Take action. Don't just sit around and do it. And a lot of people get, and I've been the victim of it, analysis paralysis and what have you. Just do it. It's the quote I was going to say actually is to know and not do is really not to know. To learn and not do is really not to learn. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't put it to action, it's a dream. It's nothing at all. If you don't actually go out and actually do the things you learn, then it's useless. So just take action and get with somebody that's in that game that you want to get in and on.
Yo, welcome back. We're here with another episode of the Israel Miller podcast. Today, I have my man Jaison Shell out of Washington, D.C. Man, Jaison, we're both part of a group called the Owners Club. We're actually business partners in a title company and in a tech company called Prop AI. The Owners Club is led by the one and only Pace Morby in the sub 2 community. Yeah, Jaison, welcome to the podcast, my friend.
Thank you for having me, Israel. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, this is long overdue, man, and we should have been had a conversation on camera. We talk all the time. We actually shot a few other podcasts together, but this is the first time that you're on my podcast, and yeah, man, the ones we shot together, that was like actually the encouragement or the inspiration I needed to get my podcast started, man. So it's dope when we have small experiences that push us to go on and do bigger and better things, man. So thank you for that.
Oh man, thank you. It's no worries at all, man. I know the fireside chat we had up in Boston, that was it. It was fire. Really.
Yeah,
Right. Me, you, Liuver, Mike, and Ali, Paul, Dana. That was awesome, man. Do you have that on? Maybe we could upload that on your YouTube
never
channel
seen
one
it.
day.
I've never seen.
No.
Did they ever post it?
Yes. They definitely did. So we got to get that uploaded on your channel, bro. We
For
have to do that
sure,
on
for sure.
our
I need to
channel.
be. So they did tag me in a few of the shorts from it, but I never seen the entire episode of it. But
Yeah,
I definitely want to go back and watch that since you're telling me it's out there in the universe for sure.
definitely.
So Jaison, it's been a few months since we linked up in Boston. It's my understanding that you closed on a deal since then.
Yeah, actually, man, it might have been that while we were in Boston, I want to say, working with Liuver, he gave me the opportunity to invest with him. So, um, Liuver came on a podcast with myself, Mike, Dana, Ali, I believe was on at the time as well. So the situation was, at Liuver is running things in Houston, man. Great guy, super investor in Houston. So I'll get to that. In any case, he came on and we were just talking, and he had an opportunity where he had a house that was sitting vacant at the time. And at the time, I didn't have a deal. Right? I was looking to get my first deal, and we were just talking. And I was like, "Well, did you think about, man, maybe converting it into a co-living home as opposed to just having it sit vacant? That way you have a chance to recoup some of that, even if you have one person gone, then." You're like, yeah, actually, I'm going to do that. And, I just didn't get around to doing it as of yet. So I was like, well, look, I could put up the funds for some of it, maybe buy the furniture or pay for some of the construction or what have you. And, we did it. Yeah. So, yeah, it's been great. And I didn't get into it so much for the profit or what have you, but more for the learning experience from Liuver, man. Leo, he does it all. He really does it all, man. The Morby method, to flipping houses on a regular basis, and things of that nature. So I got into it more so for the learning process and to, attach myself to him and pick his brain about things, whether it be underwriting or, I could just hit him up, man, what do you think about this deal? And things like that. So yeah, it's been really great being able to do that.
Now you said you were a lender on that deal?
Yes, yes, I was.
Okay. So what tell me about like what so tell me a little bit about why you decided to lend on that.
All right. So, like the property was vacant, and it was a great opportunity. It didn't need much at all. Just converting the living room and dining room into a bedroom and furniture. And it's the turnkey property. It's in great shape. It doesn't need much at all, like I said. And the opportunity to work with Liuver is what really, really did it. Like I say, he's doing awesome things in Houston. So the profit is going to be there because he does everything clean cut. I mean, really great guy. I had the opportunity to talk to him at our retreats in Arizona, and then
Mhm.
again in Boston. So, it was just there. Like, man, he's on the money. He could be trusted 100%. You got to have that first. You got to have that trust. Do your due diligence on anybody that you loan to. The Uber was that it was just there, man, so it worked. It worked. He's a great guy, a really good investor. And then I had the opportunity to learn. So it just works. And the profit will be there. Obviously it is there. It just works.
Okay, so I'm not asking how much money you invested into this, but what type of return are you getting from this deal?
We've been splitting the profits of whatever we recoup. So, like I said, thank goodness he gave me the opportunity to get into the deal with them. It's a long-term deal for 3 years, and we'll split the profits 50-50. And then after the three years, I recoup the money that I invested.
You're
So,
you're gonna recoup the money you invested. So you're an equity partner as well. You're a part owner in the house, or
no, no, just strictly for the profits. Yeah, strictly for the profits. I didn't ask for any kind of equity in it because there wasn't much that I put up for the deal or what have you. It wasn't
Mhm.
much at all. But just to furnish it and some minor construction. So for the opportunity to make a little bit of money and learn, I said, yeah, I'll do that all day long. I'll do that. And like I said, it's more so for the learning than the profit. The profit is icing on the cake.
Okay, okay. So just so I can recap for the people who's watching this, pretty much you made a little small investment just so you can connect with a class A player in this game, a grade A player that's in this game, where you're going to get the education, you're going to learn how to do this on your own, and hopefully you're going to see part of the upside of once this investment is done in 3 years, 3 to 5 years from now.
Exactly right. Exactly right. It'd be something similar to someone coming to yourself, a grade A investor, and doing the same thing with you. You're the exact same thing, but in Florida as opposed to Houston. And I'm not sure you're in different markets South Florida, yeah?
Yeah, I'm down here in the Miami, Broward County, Miami-Dade County area, South Florida. So, and that's great that you mentioned that because, bottom line, people who wants to get in this game, they're always asking like, how can I get started? And one of the simplest ways to get started is that, look, if you got a few dollars, like people go out, they pay for mentorships, they go out and pay for masterminds, they go out and just waste money on courses. But the best way to educate yourself in this game is through hands-on experience. So instead of going to waste that money on a mastermind that you may or may not learn something from, like I trust me, I invest in education. Like I love investing in education and leveling up my skill set. But the best way to learn is through hands-on experience.
Yes. Yes. Learn by doing.
Being in the trenches with someone who's doing what you want to do. That's the best way to learn. So I encourage anyone out there who's willing, who wants to learn how to invest, by all means, contact the more experienced person in your marketplace of doing the things that you want to do, and see how you could be of value to them and what you could bring to the table to help them out. And that's exactly what you just did, man. So I applaud you on that.
Thank you, and thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to actually do it. I really do. It may, like you said, that you hit that right on the head. It makes sense to, of course, I invested in education myself. I want to do real estate, and I will be. I'll never stop, paying to learn or what have you. Now, that being said, it makes sense to pay to get in on the deal and learn
Yeah.
that way as opposed to like the classroom type learning. And to me, anyway, in my eyes, that makes perfect sense to, okay, let me JV with someone on this deal. And while, I'm new and I can learn from them, or if you're type that you don't want to learn, you just want to make money off of it, that's the option too. But the but if you want to learn, that is the best way to do it. As you're so right, man. JV with someone that's in the field that you want to get in on.
For
Right.
sure. So what exactly are y'all going to be doing with this house over the next 3 to 5 years? What's the goal?
So we're looking to do a co-living model with it. So it'll be either pad split or renting out ourselves. So Liuver, he does it all. He really does. He has his own property management company. So that's the option. But the main goal is to do a co-living model with it. We're converting the living room and dining room to bedrooms to give us more rooms and rent it out by the room.
Okay. So co-living is a fairly new model to a lot of people. And what's your definition of co-living?
So it's such a huge umbrella to me, but it's essentially you're renting out by the rooms. That's in a nutshell. You're renting property out per room.
Okay. And what's the benefits of renting a house by the room versus the whole house?
So for one, you're saving money. You're definitely saving money. A lot of people, whether it be nurses or construction workers or someone just in town for a certain amount of time for a job, they don't want to have to rent out a whole home for that amount of time or what have you. They just need somewhere really to just come and sleep and go back to work. I know a lot of people that are traveling nurses, people in that line of work or all kinds of lines of work, really, students even, they don't want to have to rent out a whole room. Let's say for the student example, uh, their parents don't want to have to pay for room or board for a whole house. So they'll get a few people and just have rooms. They save money. You have the camaraderie or what have you. And I could go to a different avenue, which is sober living, which is what I'm into, right? All right. And that aspect, as far as co-living, you have the sober living model where they're actually moving in together for the camaraderie as well, as opposed to, and they're saving money too. In that aspect, it's a group of like-minded individuals that are looking to better their lives, right? So they kind of hold each other. I don't want to say hold each other accountable because that's totally up to you. When you do that, you hold yourself accountable. That being said, they can lean on each other. I could say that they can lean on each other. Like if they see somebody falling by the wayside, they could pick them up, like steer them in the right direction, or they everybody's in it to get better. And if you're not getting better, then they'll, I want to say you say police them, but they'll, okay, man, you keep messing up, you gotta go, and bring somebody in that's in line with what they want to do. So it's so many opportunities, man. And with these days and times, all the prices are so high. It's hard to, and the rent as well, especially in the area I'm in. That to Miami, it's the same situation. That housing is so high that affordability is skyrocketing. So it just makes sense. It really does. Rent by the room, save money, and eventually, if you want, you can save that money and buy a property if you want it, whether it be investment property or somewhere for your primary residence to live. It
Right.
just makes sense to me.
Right. Funny thing is, they call it co-living now. I don't know what it was called back in the day, but like I went to college in 1996, not to date myself, but I went to the infamous Morgan State University, you know what I mean, in Baltimore, Maryland.
All right. Shout
Shout
out to
out to
B
Morgan.
More. Yes, sir. Shout out to
Shout
B
out to
Ward.
Morgan
Yeah.
HBCU, one of the
All
best in
right.
the world.
Right. Right.
But my first year and a half at Morgan, I lived in a rooming house. Dr. Nathan Carter, the late Dr. Nathan Carter, who was the choir director, he made Morgan State's choir like world famous. Like my brother was on that choir. My brother literally got to see the world in college, because they traveled everywhere around the world. But
Yeah.
Dr. Nathan Carter, he had a slew of houses around Morgan State, and he was renting them out to students, man, by the room. It makes me laugh because we got companies like Pad Split that's
Mm-hmm.
fairly new on the market. They're coming to market and they're introducing quote unquote the co-living model, and they're branding it as something brand new. But this model's been around for like forever.
Exactly. You're so right. I mean, when it came to the family model as well, you would have the cousins move in, or people with the grandparents move back in with the kids, or what have you. It just it really works. Pride sometimes gets in the way, so people don't
Us,
want to go into that mode anymore. Like, oh man, I don't want to move in with my cousin or what have you. But I mean, it works. It really does work.
it works. All depends on where you at mentally and financially. But the multi-generational houses, you got
Hmm.
families like just families, generation on top of generation, living in a house together. It makes everything more affordable.
Yeah.
So, like, as far as like the demographics, you mentioned sober living. What are some of the other demographics that people target when it comes to co-living?
All right. So you mean as far as the areas or what
Not
have
the
you?
areas, but like as far as the type of people that you will group together. Like you got college students, your college students will live together and do rooms. You have the sober people, they're obviously going through some type of rehab, or they're at a different place in their life that they need to recover, and they need to recover, do some form of recovery to get back on their feet. Typically they hit rock bottom. What are some of the other demographics that this co-living model will work for?
So, like you said, you have the students, you have the sober living, you have traveling nurses,
Mhm.
100%. You have construction workers that may be in town for a certain amount of time. Yeah, exactly. Yep, yep, yep. What else? You have, man, I'm leaving a lot of them out. People that may be down and out, that have maybe lost their job, or okay, look, I'm about to sell my house because I'm losing my job. I need a place to live. I mean,
And people
it
just
is
trying to
what it
bounce
is.
back.
Exactly.
I believe what Tracy Cole, when she was talking about the Golden Girls model, where she was doing the seniors living it.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. I forgot about that one. Yes. Yeah.
Sober,
Yes.
the Golden Girls. What else?
Girls.
People
Man.
aging foster care homes. Like,
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So many of us, we are hitting on it. Yeah, sir. Right.
yeah, man, we're just trying to share some knowledge with people. But bottom line is like, there's infinite ways that you can make money off of this.
Did we say military as well? We did say military as well, right? We forgot we didn't
And
leave the military.
but
Oh yeah,
but that's another
military
one.
for sure. Yeah.
That's another
Yes,
one.
sir. Yes, sir.
That's another one. Look, if you're watching this, like, if you got a comment about a co-living idea, like, leave a comment on other things that other people that we could target that we haven't spoke about when it comes to the co-living model. Just go ahead and leave us a quick comment, or if you got any value of this, like, give Jason a shout out. Go ahead and give Jason a shout out about with the knowledge that he's sharing. So, Jason, like the property that you invested with Liuver, one is in Houston, right? That
Yes.
property is in Houston, because I'm assuming it's in Houston because that's where Liuver's from.
Yep, that's correct.
But you live in Washington, D.C.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, shout out to the Owners Club, man. Pace, man. Shout out to Pace for putting us together. My sub two family. But it's thanks to Owners Club that it all came together. So Pace brought us together, and it's beautiful. It's not a mastermind. I don't know a word to describe what he's done, man. It's a beautiful thing. And met Liuver, and like I said, first time within Arizona, and and that was my first trip to Arizona, by the way. I just wanted to put that
Right.
out there, and it was awesome. And we clicked. So on this group, man, and it's just adds up to as well. It's people from all over the country and some in different parts of the world as well. And the opportunity was there, and it just makes sense. Technology works. You're in Miami right now, and
Right.
I'm in DC. So as long as you do your due diligence on who you're partnering with, that's the main thing. They could be in Alaska or wherever. If you just
Mhm.
do your due diligence, and in my eyes, that's the main thing. And it's a beautiful thing because Houston is booming. I mean, it's
Yes.
it's it's really happening right now. Texas is, I think, the second largest growing state, if not the first in the country. It only makes sense.
Yeah, man. You can't go wrong with investing in Texas. Houston, Dallas, Austin, Texas, big technology center down there.
Uh,
Yeah, you can't
uh,
go wrong with investing in Texas. But what gave you that? So you linked up with Liuver, so you were comfortable in investing with him because of who he is. Would you typically invest outside your backyard?
yeah, yeah, man. I don't have a problem with that at all. I mean, so I'm in DC, in the DMV, and shout out to everybody in the city, man. Born and raised DC, right?
City.
Yes, yes, indeed, right? Go Skins, go Commanders. Anyway,
Go Commander, go Eagles, fly. What? Go ahead with that nonsense. Y'all see how he said that under his breath, right? He said that, he said go Commanders under his breath. He even scared to mention that name right now.
hey, respect, man. It was the championship. We were the NFC championship. So yeah, yeah. Yeah. But so yeah, man, as far as different areas, it makes sense for me because this area is so high, and the price point for DC, the Maryland, Virginia, man, it's crazy. So different areas, the price point is that much better. So out of state investing really makes sense for anyone in this situation, I believe anyway. Now, don't get me wrong. It's ways to get into the game in real estate and high price points as well. It just makes sense I mean, the internet works. And with our community, we have people in every single state. So, if you could get in for a lower entry point or, a lower price point, why not? Why not? It just makes sense.
Absolutely. I mean, price points on where you buy it, it's all relative compared to where you are and what you're doing, your investment strategies, it's all relative.
Yes.
But one of the
Right.
most important things that people got to learn is like, you don't have to do this alone. And one of the things you mentioned is like Liuver, like and you trust him. And you're doing business with someone you know, like, and trust. And that's the biggest thing is like, one of the things about being in a sub two community, which regardless if it's the owners club, sub two, or the gator community, or the top tier TC, or any of the other ones that Pace has in the Paceverse universe, one of the biggest things he preaches about community and helping and squatting up with one another. And we all have different skill sets and different talents that we bring to the table. But here's the thing. We're all on our individual journeys, but we're moving in the same direction.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
we can help one another along on our path, on our journey. It's imperative that we help one another. We have a goal giving mentality in this
Yes.
community.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
That first.
It's not a take first mentality. It's a go giving mentality. Like we have to give before we receive.
Right, right. It's all about relationships, man, and giving back. And you get a solid relationship with someone that's doing great, that's giving back first. Everything else will come by default. I really believe that. The deal that just come. If you solid and you're on the one, you're on the level, and you're giving back and not thinking what's in it for me or what's in,
Mhm.
man, as opposed to, well, how can I help you? Well, how can I bring value to you? How can I help you? What are you trying to do? How can I help? And that's what our community really is. It really is. You see it at Squad Up Summit. You're coming on out, man. That was that was my first introduction really to the community with that Squad Up Summit. I mean, the entire community with that Squad Up Summit. And it was crazy, man. I mean, it was just insane. I never experienced anything like that where, everybody's just smiled on their faces and, just come up, hey, man, my name's Jason, what are you into? What part of the country you in? And all right, look, let's connect. And, I had to get my blink because at this that point in time, I was still using something else. But yeah, man, it was awesome. I'm really looking forward to this one coming up, man. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be
Yes, sir.
absolutely bananas.
Yes,
Did
sir.
I get off? I got off subject. I'm sorry about that.
You right on topic, man. It's wherever the conversation takes us, man.
Right,
So I
yeah.
mean, so we actually met at Squad Up last year,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes,
the thing
sir.
about it is like we're approaching Squad Up another 3 weeks from now, 4 weeks from now. Squad
Yeah.
Up is upon us again.
Yes.
So it's not almost a year later,
Yeah.
that we're here. And just think about it, because of the relationship we developed a little less than a year ago, you and I are talking here right now.
About that, man. Everything happens for a reason. It's a beautiful thing. I learned so much from you. I appreciate it with the talks we've had, man. I really appreciate you. I'm still learning from you, brother, and will continue to learn from you. I really appreciate you.
Yes, sir.
It's-
Each one teach one, man. Each one teach one.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. But yeah, it's going to be crazy, man. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
So
Really.
what's one of your intentions? Like last year, we met up at Squad Summit last year.
Mhm.
We both joined the owners club. That's why we became so tight over the last year. Since then we developed we're owners of two businesses together. We're partners. We've done a number of activities over the last year. So like thinking about the experience that you had over the last year, what's one of your intentions for the Squad Up Summit this year?
One of my tips, and shout out to Creative Title, by the way, title company. If you need
Creative
any kind of
on that
title
stroke?
work,
Yes,
yes,
sir.
indeed, Creative Title and Esco, go to them for your title work. But one of my main focuses is it's always about relationships. And what I want to focus in on this time is two things. First, anyone that's in my space as far as sober living, right? I really want to build on that, build this relationship with Oxford House, who happen to be based in this area in DC out of Silver Spring. Now they're nationwide, man. It's so crazy. So maybe building that and see how we could all work together as far as sober living and helping each other out. See how we could just keep growing off that. Of course, raising capital is just a part of it. If I could help someone make money and give back, just like I'm doing with Liuver in the same space. Look, you can invest with me and learn how we could actually uh, make you money and learn.
Mm.
Yeah, those two things. I really want to, yeah, and of course, learn from everybody else there. But I'm keying in on my Mount Everest, which is co-living and sober living to get these. My Mount Everest is right now, and it'll grow. But my Mount Everest is what was it? It's gonna kill me. 200 doors in 5 years, netting about 100K a month. So you know, um, yeah, I don't know if we can. Yeah, that's my Mount Everest, right? But the key in on that, the sober living, co-living aspect, anybody in that space, that's what I'll be working on at Squad Up Summit. And of course, what I really want to do a better job of is networking with people right here in my area. So when I came in to the community, I went all the way in. I was a Gator first, learned about Squad Up, went to Squad Up, got into Owners Club, and then joined Sub 2. So being in the Owners Club, I really think nationwide, it's so crazy that, I think, because most of the people in Owners Club, we're all spread it out. And, there's a few people here, and I want to do a better job of that, networking with people right here in my community. Of course, I'll still be working with everybody nationwide. It's just that when I first joined, being an owners club, it's so vast, and it's a beautiful thing. Don't get me wrong, because I'm learning from so many people in so many different states that, I didn't really key in on people that's right here in my own backyard, which, I'll be focused on that too. That'll be one of my goals as well. Let's squad up, man. Look, we're right here together, 'cause the DMV is big, so while we're right here together, let's get these partnerships going. And yeah, that's pretty much it, man. So we're living and networking with people that are right here and just bringing it back home and just keep it going.
No doubt. It's super important to like go into these type of events with your intentions set, because it's so easy to get overwhelmed when you're in a room with 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people. Like it's so easy to get overwhelmed and sidetracked. It's imperative that anyone going to an event like this, any type of networking event, big seminar event where there's thousands of people, you have to set intentions before you go.
100%. Definitely. Thank you for
You mentioned about you talked about becoming an expert in your local market. So how are you advertising, or like how are you seeking out your current projects right now? What strategies are you using to find your houses that you're looking to invest in?
So I'm going direct to agent, the making tool shop that called the LOI Blaster that I use or what have you, and it sends out offers to agents nationwide. Really, as you're a rainmaker and no other fine challenge. So
Sir,
I'm going direct to agent as of right now and asking them if they have anything that fits my buy box, essentially. So I'll send it over to them and wait to hear back from them. I'll still get on the phone, so what have you. And, if I come across something that interests me, I'll give them a call and just pick their brain. And it's not so much about that particular property that I get on the phone with them about. Of course, if I get it, that's a win. But that being said, it's about building that relationship with that agent and letting them know that what I'm about, what I'm into, what I'm looking for, and see if we could have, again, win-win situation.
sure. The LOI Blaster. I believe you were the first person that told me about that. And I was questioning you, like, why would you just send letters out instead of just calling? And you were explaining it to me. I was like, no,
Bruh.
but I have been using it. That's a tool that I have implemented. And, as you said, I got a team behind me now that I work with and that I train. And that's how I send out the initial marketing for my team. We'll send out 100 LOIs a day, 200 LOIs a day. And my team just calls and follow ups on them and set appointments for us.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's an awesome tool. It's a way that you could cast a wide net. Yeah, the LOI Blaster is an awesome tool, man. It's an awesome tool to have in your arsenal when you're out here for searching for homes. So you mentioned your buy box. What exactly is your buy box? If someone is out there in your area, somewhere in the DMV, they're newbies and they want to work with a person like yourself. We're talking about working with high level people. That's how we started off this conversation. You link with Liuver. I have a team of people that's linking up with me that I'm helping out and holding their hands and helping them out on their journey. I'm sure there's 1,000 newbies in the DMV area that need someone to attach themselves to show them a way. So, like, what is your buy box, and what are you looking for exactly in a property?
So I'm looking for potential sober living or co-living homes, single family or multifamily. The multi could be a duplex up to a fourplex. The single families, at least 3 bedrooms and up, or two bathrooms and up. The more bathrooms, the better. Honestly, the more bathrooms, the better. A minimum of 600 square feet. It could be a turnkey to light rehab for those particular properties, what have you. But, all conditioned. I'll make it work. Preferably turnkey to light rehab and high demand areas near public transportation, major employer, if it's like I don't know, here we have like an Amazon and, things, major big businesses, hospitals, something close to hospitals, military bases, colleges or universities. Prefer off-street parking, but it's not a must. For the sober living homes, it's a must that they be near public transportation, preferably. So, really, I prefer anything that's close to public transportation, but it's not a must or what have you. Just preferably anything in the DMV or Baltimore area, as well as Houston and Florida. Right, my partner Liuver is in Houston, and the partner shout out to Paul Rodriguez down in Florida. So those four areas: DMV, Baltimore, Houston, Florida. They could be all cash purchases, creative, the financing, max is a 10% interest fee. Looking for interest rate of 5% or lower. If it's a 6%, I might be able to work. I got to see how the numbers are, or have you. There could be a joint venture and an equity partnership in it as well. Prefer vacant properties, but it's not a must. Sometimes it works where if the tenants are good tenants, cool, but that's on a case by case basis. If the tenants are happy and the rent rolls are current, cool, but case by case basis with that. Looking for cash on cash return of 12% and a cap rate of a minimum of 8%. They could really, I know I said turnkey or like rehab, but again, if it's a total gut job or what have you, I can make that work as well. I definitely can. And, a special criteria, we could talk about it on a case by case basis. Like I said, like with total rehab or gut job, just give me a call or hit me up on Instagram and we can make it work.
Man, Jaison, that's golden right there, man. So y'all heard it from him. Like, if y'all got anything that fits that criteria, get in contact with my man. He's a certified buyer, and he got people that certified behind him to help him pull whatever off, whatever whatever it takes to take that property down. He got the connections to make it happen.
That is a fact.
Yeah, all fact. So let me ask you another thing. So what is something you want the audience to know? How can we contact you and how can we work with you?
So on all platforms, it's Jaison Shell. That's Jaison, Jason with an I for investing. Right.
Oh,
Just all right. On all platforms, Jason with an I, Jaison Shell. So that's mostly I would say Instagram. You can hit me up or DM me on there, Facebook as well. But Instagram will probably be the best bet to get in contact with me.
for sure. For sure. For sure. Is there anything else you want to tell the audience before we log off?
Uh, Man, I could give a quote that
So
that
tell
I
me this,
yeah.
for the person out there that's just starting, on their investment journey, what is one piece of advice you would have for that person that's out there that's just starting on their investment journey?
Man, take action. Take action. Don't just sit around and do it. And a lot of people get, and I've been the victim of it, analysis paralysis and or what have you. Just do it. The quote I was going to say actually is to know and not do is really not to know. To learn and not do is really not to learn. You can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't put it to action, it's a dream. It's nothing at all. If you don't actually go out and actually do the things you learn, then it's useless. So just take action and get with somebody that's in that game that you want to get in and on. Like you said, Israel, that if you hit it right on the head. If you want to learn something, whether it be sober living and new construction, flipping houses, wholesaling houses, get with somebody that's already doing it. People could be so prideful, man, and pride doesn't hurt. Pride hurts your pockets. Bottom line, really, So pride. I want to get
That ego aside, man. When it's time to make money, put your ego aside.
man, like Ben Rain said in Pulp Fiction. I ain't gonna say it, but it was I'm saying it's a G-rated show. That little thing you feeling in your head, that's
Yes, sir.
pride messing with you. Man, forget pride, man. Get with now. It may be a context of the movie he used, but take action, man, and get with somebody that's actually in the game that you want to get in on. Those two things.
Nah, man. Thank you so much for sharing that. And I mean, Jaison, like that's a gem right there. One of the things that I've learned over the last year is like it's real easy to get in. Well, I've learned this since I've been in the investing game for a long time now. It's real easy to get into the analysis stage, into the studying stage, into the education stage, and people never move past that stage. But the only way you're going to truly learn is by getting out here in the trenches and getting your hands dirty. That's the only way you're going to learn. So, for every hour of education that you allow yourself to get, you need to put in 3 to 4 hours of action behind that 1 hour. So turn them videos off, turn them audios off, like listen to whichever you got to get. But bottom line, it's nothing going to teach you better than getting involved. As we opened the conversation, like Jason, he mentioned, like he invested in someone else's deal so he could get the education. Like there's no better way but to put yourself in the mix.
Right.
Put yourself in the mix,
Right.
man.
Yeah.
Look, guys, if you got, do me a favor, like just leave a comment down below on one thing that you took from this conversation between Jason and myself. Just go ahead and leave a comment. Also, do me a favor, or do yourself a favor, and like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell. Smash that thing, man. And so you can stay connected to the conversations that we have in here. Hopefully, like I said, this was of some form of value to you. You know what I mean? So go ahead and hit that subscribe button so we can let you know when that next video drop. But until then, Jason, listen, man, I appreciate you for jumping on. I appreciate you for sharing your knowledge. I look forward to seeing you in another 2 to 3 weeks at the Squad Up Summit 2025.
Sir. Yes,
I think it's
sir.
about to be a movie. Yeah, it's about to be a movie down there.
Yeah, sold out. Standing room only, man. It's crazy.
Sold out, yo.
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know how many tickets they sold. I think it was like 3,000, 4,000 tickets.
Yeah, something like that. I think they might still have some standing room only tickets available, man. It's going to be crazy.
Yes, sir.
We got really looking forward to that.
But if y'all could come, I say get there. Like, because bottom line, you don't even need to be in the room. You just got to be in the hotel.
Yep. Yeah. Church. That's where, that's so brave.
I got a ticket, but I don't think I'm going to be in the room. I'm going to be in the hallways, man, because that's where the deal making is happening.
You just gave up a cheat code for sure, bro. You get in the hotel alone, and my goodness gracious. Yeah.
Yo, man.
Damn.
Yo, man, all the action, all the deal making is happening in the hallways.
The hallways. Yeah. That is a fact. That is a fact. I'll still be in, man, the guest speakers are going to be crazy. I mean, sick, man. And I'm really looking forward to the guest speakers. That being said, if you don't have a ticket, get into the hotel. That's the second best thing, man. All the action is in the hallways. The deals are made in the hallways.
Yes, sir. Yes,
You're so right, Ezra. You're so right.
But look, guys, that's it. That's all we got for this episode. Again, Jason, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, I mean, good luck. Bro. Good luck with the Commanders next year.
You don't mean that, bro.
No, not at all. I'm lying, yo. I'm lying. Fly, Eagles, fly, yo, man. I appreciate you, man. I'm gonna see you in 2 to 3 weeks, man, at the Squad Up Summit, yo.
Yes, sir. Right? Always a pleasure, Israel. Thank you for having me, brother. Yes, sir.